Good evening, Fluffs. It is now time to talk about this celebrity tea, honey. So grab your mugs, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and if you're feeling real generous, share this video. So there's a few things I want to cover today. So today I want to cover the Jussie Smollett situation. I want to cover the Nique situation, and I also want to cover the Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson. I briefly want to get into those last two, but Jussie Smollett I definitely want to talk about. So I want you guys to know that I actually did make a video for it. However, I recorded it, got ready to edit. The next day, he turned himself in. So I felt like my video was then outdated. So I want to cover everything that we know so far and a couple of theories that we have about what has taken place with this whole situation and why it's so big and why it's flourishing the news and why it's taking precedence over the guy who's actually trying to kill the president. So let's get into that. So what we do know about Jussie Smollett is that on January 29th, 2019, 2 a.m., he's getting to a sandwich at Subway, right? And he's attacked by these two large men who he claimed were white, who were yelling homophobic and racial slurs at him. A couple days later, story unfolds. We find out that there are two Nigerian men who are very large in stature who attacked him. What we do know is that one of them was an extra on the show Empire, and one is also his personal trainer. So the story starts to unfold and things are not making sense at this point. So the whole world is now looking at Jussie like, hey, we were all on your side, we were all rooting for you, and now all of a sudden things are not adding up. So what's the problem here? So problem number one, what we see with this situation and Jussie is that, I'm gonna say this, the injuries don't add up. When we finally were able to see the video and you see how large the men are in stature, whether they were white or black, we see their stature, they're fairly large. So I'm just trying to understand how your one little scar that you had like right here on your cheek, and then they tied a noose around your neck and there's no bruises around your neck. You know, one thing I do know is that bruises kind of last for a while. You know, you wake up with a bruise and it lasts for a very long time. And all of a sudden his bruises don't add up. He didn't even have any when he did the, interview with Robin from Good Morning America. So that's already a problem right there for me. That's strike number one, right? It's okay. That's alarming. Number two, we get into this whole idea of why would these two guys attack you and they know you? You know, it's one thing to attack you and then take you for your money, but you weren't robbed. So that doesn't make sense, right? So already the story is taking place and it doesn't make sense. Now, I am not trying to call him a liar, honey. But if the shoe fits, if the shoe fits, I'm going to say you're going to have to wear it, honey. And at this point, it's kind of sickening because it's, you know, you're rooting for this person. You're hoping that his story is true because we've seen him. We know he's a good actor, but you know, is he going insane is the next question. So number three, I have to question his mental capacity. The reason why I have to question the mental capacity is because at this time, are you doing this for attention? And if so, why are you doing it for the attention? What is this going to garner for you? What is going to change for you that makes you feel like all of a sudden, hey, I'm this rich and powerful person? Because you should already feel that. You're on a hit TV show that millions of people are waiting to watch when it comes on the television, but yet you're still seeking more. So a couple theories that I have talked about with several people, and some of them feel like maybe it's because he wants to get out of his contract with Empire. But why would you want to leave that contract when we all know and have heard now, and they have confirmed that season 5 was supposed to be about him predominantly? So why would you want to get out of that? You know, then some are saying, some sources like Daily Mail, People, TMZ, Shade Room, all these other people are saying, well, maybe he wasn't happy with his pay. He wasn't getting the desired pay. Now, I will say this. If you're not getting the desired pay at one job, honey, move on to the next one. Don't try to make it to where this job should feel obligated to pay you more. Why I am saying this for Jussie Smollett, and the reason why I'm saying this is because let's look at his track record. If any of you would like to go to iMovie database, please find a role where he was the leading actor, because I'm still waiting. He hasn't been a leading actor at all. So how can you ask for A-list pay and you're not an A-list actor? You know, and I'm not trying to down his career, because I think he and his whole family, I think they're a bunch of talented people who are underrated. And it's unfortunate. However, honey, everybody can't be an A-list actor. If everybody was an A-list actor, then we would not have films, because they would constantly be at war with who's gonna play the lead and who's not gonna play the lead. It's kind of like, you know, with Girls Trip. The reason why they haven't made a part 2 to Girls Trip is because everybody now considers themselves an A-list actor, and they all want A-list pay, and no one wants to pay that amount for all those actors. So same thing with Jussie Smollett. Baby, you've never been a leading actor, so why all of a sudden are you asking for A-list pay? Honey, know your role, act your wage. So now that I'm done talking about Jussie Smollett, because that's a crazy situation, I want you guys to feel free to comment in the comment section below here. I want you to spill out how you feel about this Jussie Smollett. I want to hear your theories on why you think he's doing this, because at this point we know for a fact that he chose to do this. He chose for this to happen to him. So why do you think so? So make sure you comment that below. With that being said, we're going to move into our next segment, which happens to deal with Monique. Now, we all know that Monique has not been in mainstream television in a very long time. She's a very funny comedian at that. She's one of my idols, one of my absolute faves. But honey, I will have to tell you this. You turned down a job with Netflix because you felt like they were not going to give you the pay that you desired. But when I look at your resume and I look at her iMovie database as almost a resume, and I see that you haven't had any prominent roles, you haven't worked with anyone current within the last 10 to 15 years, in a sense, you're outdated. And the reason why I say that, don't get mad at me. Hold on, don't get mad at me. It's just like this. If you were to work in, let's say, as a district sales manager, right? And you're the district manager. Now, let's say you decide to, for whatever reason, you stop working. So as you stop working, you basically say, okay, I'm out of the game. But you want to get back into it 15 years later. A lot of people are going to be hesitant to hire you back as a district manager because you don't know the software of what's going on right now. You're not in tune with what's going on right now. You are outdated. So we may give you a chance, but we're not going to give you that chance just yet as what you are desiring to be. So my thing is okay, Monique, you haven't had a prominent role in a very long time, sis. So I would have taken the role at a smaller pay. But now that we have social media with all of the different platforms, you have Instagram, you have Twitter, you have Snapchat, Instagram, you have all of these, right? So with you having all of these, you could have pumped your show up or your movie up in a way that would have given you the clout and attention. So when Netflix called you back to do season 2 or another movie, you could have been asking for the desired pay. But you can't come out of hiatus and you've been sleeping and hibernating for 15 years and then come back and say, I'm a $1 million actress. What do you mean? What? You haven't done anything prominent. You didn't even have a makeup line. You didn't model no clothes. Sis, the only thing you did was took a hiatus and lost weight. So how you asking for a A-list acting job? Like, you gotta know your role and act your wage, y'all. Know your role, act your wage. And if you feel like they're not going to give it to you, don't make a big deal out of it. Just move along until the next one who does give you that chance, who does give you that pay. But I feel that she almost blacklisted herself. She's making it out as if the industry blacklisted her. And again, I'm not talking mess. But what I am saying is that, sis, you should have kept quiet, because what you did do is you kind of put a sour taste in anybody else who was possibly thinking about working with you. And the reason why I say that is because when you think about it, you've opened your mouth and you've exposed Netflix as blacklisting you, not wanting to pay you, X, Y, and Z, throwing shade. Don't you think now Hulu's kind of looking at you like, well, we would have took you over here, but you know, if you gonna do all that, I don't want to deal with you. Because have you ever seen somebody talking so loud or so obnoxious and you kind of like, never mind. You was cute until So you see how that goes, right? So with that being said, sis, know your role, act your wage. And that's just really where we're going to go with that. Know your role and act your wage. So moving on from that. So I want to briefly touch on this. We definitely need this for this. The Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson situation. So we all know that Jordyn Woods is best friends with Kylie Jenner. Kylie Jenner is Khloe's sister. It unfolded on Monday that Khloe and Tristan had called it quits. And with that being said, by them calling it quits, then we later find out that Jordyn Woods may have played a role into why they have called it quits. I normally do not like touching love situations, but honey, the tea is too good. So what we do know is that possibly on Monday, well, Saturday, somewhere in that evening, Tristan was out partying and Jordyn was all over him, kissing him. And at first we didn't know if it was true. However, sources have told TMZ, Daily Mail, People, and all these other sources that the Kardashian family has started reaching out to their friends of all these people who had ended up going to the same party that Tristan and Jordyn were at, and that it's true. We also know that Jordyn has now moved out of the guest house that she was living in, because Kylie Jenner, she owns a home and she had a guest house, and Jordyn was living in the guest house. Jordyn has now moved back home with her mom. And all I'm going to say about this, sis, if you had to move out, it's true. It's true. It's got to be true. Because I know for a fact that if I didn't do nothing with nobody, I'm not going to let you mess up what I have, because you were living scot-free in pretty much what is probably like a mini mansion for free. You probably were not paying Kylie nothing. So to mess that up, to mess up that whole lifestyle behind Tristan, who now 9 times out of 10 is not going to have anything to do with you. Honey, the tea is too good. There's no way I would have allowed Tristan to mess that up for me. I kid you not. There's no way. Not at all. Not in the least bit. Couldn't have messed it up for me. So that's why I say that it has to be true, because you're just not going to let anybody come along and just mess up your money like that and mess up your bread and butter. So the fact that she allowed that to happen, come on, it has to be true. So I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to leave you guys with that. And I'm going to try to hurry up and put this video out, because I don't want any of this information to be outdated again. And then I have to make this video all over again. So if you like this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share it with your friends and family. Okay, honey? As for me, keeping up with the celebrity tea, honey. Y'all have a good night.